Hey there, YouTube land, and recently got asked, we get it, you like Scream Factory, you like Arrow Video, what else, horror-wise, do you collect, what other companies and stuff? Well, I can't get any of the Snaps ones this time around, unfortunately. I wish I could. There's ones I wanted, those, I really wanted the Stepfather 2, and I really wanted the Blu-ray of, oh god, it's the trailer, 42nd Street Forever. I love the trailer. I really love trailer DVDs. And I got one from England, but I really wanted the 42nd Street Forever one. Actually, my fourth I was going to pick out where it's going to be Intruder, 42nd Street Forever, The Dorm, The Drip Blood, and Stepfather 2. But I can't get them this time around. But you know, some other time they'll come around. I'll get them. I'll get them sometime. But today we're looking at three companies that I collect, and I have a very small collection. Collection of. So we are looking at Troma, we're looking at Dark Sky Films, and we're going to look at Blue Underground. So I think I'll do Dark Sky first because it's the smallest one, and then we'll go into the other ones. And this way you can actually, we'll talk about these as we go along. I'll talk about these, you know, and you can let me know what you guys think of the movies if you've seen them, and this way you get a better feel of the stuff that I like, the stuff I collect, and hopefully a better feel about me and why I like the movies that I like, I guess you could say. So I found this one for like $2.99. But My Sucky Teen Romance, and you know, it sounds like it's a vampire-ish thing, but what the cool thing is, the girl that did this one did like a zombie film. I mean, she was like really young. This was kind of like a follow-up film. Had picked up. Emily Hagen's, there's a documentary about her called, I think it's called Zombie Girl. And I think that documentary had the movie with it, the one that she did. So she's a little bit older now, like, I guess she's still a teen. I think she's still a teen at this point. But just a short film, 77 minutes long. A cool one that I think you can, haven't watched yet. I gotta watch it. One that I guess, suppose you can watch the kids type of thing. And it's kind of cool to have something like this. It's different, unique, kind of an indie thing. I like the indie stuff. I like to support our upcoming filmmakers out there. I'm sure that one of these days I'm going to be buying a movie that Joe's House of Horrors did. And if you check out his channel, I really should. And next up is a really fun film. Is it a good film? I wouldn't say it's a good film, but it's really fun. I love this movie. I got it off of a collector. He was going out of town. I'm saying a lot. I got to get it out of that. He was going out of town, and he was pretty much selling off his entire collection. So I bought a few of them. Well, I bought a lot at the time, and one of the ones I got was The Devil's Reign. I just find this really fun. We got Shatner, Borgnine, Lupino, and John Travolta. Just, you can't, you know, Eddie Albert, I think, and Tom Skerritt, for instance, as well. This is just like a really cool movie. It's got some great features. There's a commentary on this one here. I have a newsreel with Anton LaVey, the High Priest of the Church of Satan, and, you know, a bunch of stuff. Just, it's a fun film. I liked it when I was growing up. It's one of the ones I would catch on TV every once in a while. Next two are Tobe Hooper films. These I can talk about a little bit more because I remember them a little bit better. This one, Devil's Reign, I remember because it's just such a cheesy ending. You got to check it out. But this is a favorite of mine. It doesn't get the credit I think it deserves. It really doesn't. It's one of these movies that, because there was the guy did a really big movie before it, it gets kind of forgotten. And it's Eaten Alive, Tobe Hooper, from the director of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And he made this after Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And anything that came after Texas Chainsaw Massacre at that point was, I think, kind of unfairly shown, like criticized, unfairly put up against Texas Chainsaw Massacre. But this is a really fun movie. Robert Englund's got a role in this one here. He played Buck. And I'm not going to say the line, but there's a famous line. Marilyn Burns is in this one. We've got Roberta Collins, Mel Ferrer, Carl Richards, and Neville Brand chewing the scenery like crazy. He does such a good job. This is just one of these cool killer roles. Kind of reminds me, like, ever see the movie Tourist Trap? Like, that kind of vein. Just really cool. Really well done. Devil's Reign. Eaten Alive, if you haven't seen it, great addition. 2 discs, just a bunch of features on here. There's other commentaries on here. We got like documentaries, featurettes, radio spots, just comic cards on here. Really cool. Dark Skies did a great job this one. And of course, if you got Dark Sky stuff, this movie's got to be in your collection. Most everybody went out and they grabbed the big edition now, like the 4-disc one, and the Blu-ray DVD, or some people got the Black Maria one, which I'll get one of those down the road. I bought a lot of stuff with the Scream Factory and stuff, so I'm laying off till after Christmas. I'm out of this, but I still got my 2-disc Ultimate Edition of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the Steelbook. I think it looks pretty good. It's got the feature, and it's the bonus disc features and that, and just like, this is the way Steelbook should be done. See if I can get this out here and show you the other side, because I don't want to risk it. Okay, so it's just like the scenery thing, but we'll just show you guys the whole thing, the whole picture. So yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. Great documentaries on here, some cool commentaries. It's neat to have this, like, listen to the commentaries and then listen to the commentary on the new Texas Chainsaw movie, especially when you listen to the old guys talking about it. Yeah, there's some great stuff. I mean, we got Shocking Truth documentaries on here, Flesh Wounds documentaries on here. There's a tour of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre house. So that's all my Dark Skies. I don't have a lot. I only have like 4, but ones that I really enjoyed. So let's do Troma next. I'm a big fan of of cheesy independent stuff, and I really supported Troma. I've met Lloyd Kaufman, and we talked for a bit. Talked to a couple of guys that were manning the booth. One of them was in the movie Poltergeist, and I actually got him to sign my copy of Poltergeist. So you're going to see a few of these Tromas are signed, and the reason is because I was talking to Lloyd, and got him to sign a bunch of stuff for me, even the one thing for my dad. And it was kind of comical because the one I picked up for my dad's a big Ponashi fan, and it had nothing to do with like Troma except the fact that he produced it. So Lloyd has a fun sense of humor, and he knew it was signing for my dad, because I told him. So when I was doing it, he was like, "Hey, no, can't." Scratching furniture, yeah, because he knows. I swear he knows. Every time I come on camera, it's scratch time. Cat. I live with cats. But anyway, yeah, so Lloyd was like, "You signed my disc." I was like, from, to Aaron's dad, from his gay lover, Lloyd Kaufman, which is really cool. So, Lloyd, you're awesome. First up is one that I saw actually with my dad years ago on VHS. And it was the last time I saw it until I actually bought the DVD. I forgot what the movie was called. I've actually really forgotten it. But I was like, what's that movie with the kids, the killer kids with the black fingernails and stuff? So the movie was The Children. And so I got the 25th anniversary edition, finally have it. Was looking for it for ages. I need Mother's Day. This is one I need. I don't have Mother's Day, guys, but I'm a big fan of Mother's Day, the ending. Awesomeness. But Children, really cool, DVD debut of 1980s theatrical smash hit. I'm not sure if it was a smash hit or not, but I remember watching it on VHS back in the day. We got an audio commentary, some interviews, just some really cool stuff. Troma put some good features on their stuff. This was one I really, really enjoyed. And I gotta say, awesomeness. Anyway, it takes me back to my youth. A lot of these Troma ones, we'll get into that. Next up is Pigs. This is one I saw years ago, and I mean years. I saw this one, I think, there's a movie called Revenge. I think it's that Patrick Wayne. And it's so weird the way you remember these things. So I rented Pigs and Revenge at the same time. And they kind of blurred into one. I know they're very, very different films. But another one that Troma really didn't have a lot to do with. I don't think that they actually put it out, which is pretty cool. And I gotta rewatch this one. I haven't seen it for a long, long time. But it's one that, a.k.a. Daddy's Little Darling. Well, I've never heard that name before, but Pigs I've heard. This is my childhood. And if you grew up in the 80s, then you watched a bunch of horror films, and you watched a bunch of these, kind of not really sex films, but sex comedies, but very innocent ones with, just have a little bit of nudity, some really juvenile humor, you know, like the Meatballs, the Porky's, all that type of stuff. Well, Troma went, oh man, they went out and put the Sexy Box. And this is really cool. I mean, it's got 4 of these cheesy classics. We got Squeeze Play, Waitress, Stuck on You, and The First Turn On. The First Turn On is actually a pretty damn good movie. If it's the one, it's the one I'm thinking. Yeah, I think had a big actress. So there's like 4 discs, 1 for each one. And the cool thing about it, and I'll take it out and show you guys, each one of these movies, it's got their own poster. And you don't know when you buy the Troma one until you open it up which one you're going to get. Because I got Squeeze Play on the back of mine here. But there's 4 posters, and I guess that's a cool way to do it. There's a different poster. You got a chance, a 1 in 4 chance of getting one of the other posters. I kind of wanted the kind of Stuck on You poster just because it was so iconic from back then. I remember seeing that one. It kind of stuck in my mind. And I really did find this movie's fun. First Turn On, I really found fun. They're like a bunch of people that are stuck in a cave and they're talking about their first times. And it's actually pretty good. And what's even really cooler about this is when you put this in, especially put this in a computer type thing, there's actually, I think, 2 or 3 more movies on here as Easter eggs. I kid you not, there are like, this isn't 4 movies, this is like 6 or 7 movies, because there's actual full films that are on here as Easter eggs. Awesome stuff. Great stuff, interviews, commentaries on each of the comedies. And, you know, extra movies, bonus actual extra full-length movies are on here. If you ever get a chance to pick up the Sexy Box, if you like this type of stuff at all, it's a real throwback, and it's not, you know, it's not extra dirty or whatever. It's just fun. It's innocent. You know, there's a little bit of nudity, but it's just fun, cheesy stuff. Yeah, check it out. The next ones up are 3 that are from Troma's more serious collector's editions, and I do take these as like actual serious good films, and they're called the Troma Masterpiece Collection. And you know, people make fun of Troma a lot for having like cheesy stuff and having like a lot of like over the top, and they do have a lot of that stuff, but this stuff is like really good stuff. A lot of their stuff in the Troma Masterpiece Collection is like more serious, kind of grittier stuff. And one of the first ones here is number 3 in the collection. That is The Last Horror Film. Love this movie. I love Joe Spinell, of course. He's a maniac. An incredible film. And of course, with that one, he had Carol Monroe, and Carol Monroe was in with him here as well. So kind of another team up between those guys. And you know, he's playing this kind of strange guy. It's his kind of taxi driver. He's playing this like cab driver. He's really kind of twisted. Really pick it up. It's a unrated edition. I got some great stuff. My Best Maniac, an interview with Joe Spinell's best friend, Luke Water. There's a commentary interview with the Maniac director, William Lustig. Mr. Robbie, Maniac 2. So a rarely seen short film by Buddy Gavanzi, who did Combat Shock, starring Joe Spinell. It's kind of like it was going to be like Maniac 2, which is really cool. Original trailers, TV spots, introduction by Mike Kaufman, of course, and traumatic extras, so it's just kind of pimping Troma stuff. Really well done. Love it here, and this is the Troma Masterpiece Collection edition. Next up is Combat Shock. Not for everybody. This is a really, really dark film. There's 2 versions of this movie on here. Another, I think this was called American Nightmare at one point. Yeah, Combat Shock is a brutal film. I know that Arrow Video, for you guys in the UK, they actually put this one out as well. I really liked this edition of the film. It's Troma. They did a great job with this, and it's the 2-disc edition. There's a great writing and the stuff to read down back here, and basically it's about a guy comes back from Vietnam, and yeah, he tries to help his, he tries to do well, tries to do good with his family, but things get dark. And this is it's a great film, but it's not for everybody. It's a very dark film. It's a violent film, and I loved it. I thought this had some great stuff on here. There's the second disc. It has a documentary about the making of the film and the impact that it had at the time. It has talks to some great people. Roy Frumkes, of course, who did Street Trash, who did the documentary that my good friend Toddy Wallace gave me. Documented. Yeah, talks to Lustig, talks to Richard Stanley, of course, who did Dust Devil and Hardware. Talks to Scott Spiegel, John McNaughton. A lot of really important guys. Got the early works of the director on here as well. An interview with him. Just a bunch of stuff. Really, really some great stuff on here. Highly, highly, highly recommend it. Another two, just Troma Masterpiece Collection and Australian Fun. Dark, Crazy by Philippe Mora, of course, who you guys all know from Howling 2 and 3, and The Beast Within. He also directed this one here, Mad Dog Morgan. And it's Dennis Hopper at the height of Dennis Hopper craziness, whether he was going through drugs or whatever at that time. There's some great extras on here, just talking about with Hopper and talking about like just how bad shit crazy and dangerous Hopper was at this point in this period of his career. Great film, Mad Dog Morgan. Of course, if you're down there like Angelina from Australia, you probably know the character that this is based on, and I thought it was a fantastic movie. I really, really enjoyed this. Again, another masterpiece, Troma masterpiece that I definitely say pick it up. Definitely pick it up. Next up is one that was done by one of the greats right now. The guy that I think is going to help bring Marvel to just that next level, because he's just a really good director and he's finally getting the credit he deserves. Romeo and Juliet, very fun film. As you can tell, it was actually signed by Lloyd Kaufman, and we talked about the fact that I was a writer and wrote films and stuff, and Toxie loves your writing, so yeah. Like Kaufman's interesting stuff to say. Yeah, this one here actually comes with Romeo and Juliet, like kind of. I can't show the inside of this, I don't think, because can I? Yeah, okay, it's not new. There's no nudity stuff. So this was done by James Gunn, and James Gunn, you guys probably know from Guardians of the Galaxy. That's what he's famous for now. And of course, if you're a horror fan, Slither. So that was a really fun movie. But you got to start with Lloyd Kaufman back in the Troma days. And this is a 2 DVD collector's edition of the film. This is a really twisted, warped film. It's definitely not for everybody, but I like it. I like this one a lot. And it's got some great things. This one has like 4 audio commentaries on it. Like crazy, man. That's some awesome stuff. And I think James Gunn is one commentary. Yeah, James Gunn is close to Sean Gunn. Yeah, some Gilmore Girls. Anyway, there's a bunch of stuff on here. I'm sorry. I love this one. Next up is one that not everybody loves, but for me, I thought it was cool. I got the 2-disc edition, and I wished I'd got the 3-disc edition afterwards, because I think the third one had a soundtrack or something like that on it, and it was like, but I wanted the one with the documentary. So there's a 1-disc edition of this as well, because the documentary is actually really cool. Poltergeist. Yeah, I know. I found it fun. I really did. I really found this to be a fun movie. Is it like, this is not supposed to be quality, it's not going to win any awards, but I love it, and I've watched this one several times. Some really cool stuff. It's got an actual documentary called Poultry in Motion. Truth is Stranger Than Chicken. Basically the making of Poltergeist behind the scenes type of thing. And a really good movie. Really fun, really fun. If you like this type of movies, you really got to check this one out. One of the movies that made Troma big. And of course, I got I all this stuff. So Aaron is clucked up like Kaufman, and the other guy, talked to clucking great meeting you. And I spent the entire weekend actually talking to the Troma guys. I spent when I was at the convention about 2 years ago, me pretty much hooked up with the Troma table. We got talking there about a bunch of movies off of them, and I just started talking to the guys there. Really interesting guys, really nice guys, really approachable. I found myself going back there over and over again because just to talk and just like chill out. My better half, she'd come over with me because she knows that was one place where she could actually go. They'd give her a seat, she'd sit down, and she'd just like sit there while I rambled on and sometimes bought more movies. But I bought a bunch of Troma. Everything I got from Troma, I got right here in this from that convention. And of course, I have Toxic Avenger, the 21st anniversary edition, Golden Edition. Again, it's a 2-disc edition. Gotta love Toxic. Got the one there, and of course, there's the bonus 21st anniversary DVD. A lot of features on this one here. Basically, it says numerous fan projects, including cartoons, original short films, reenactments, and much more. Just some really great stuff. I haven't really gotten to see all of this yet, but yeah, I got to look through all these features. There's just so many features on these Troma films. I watch the movies over and over again, and I don't get to the features the way that I do some, but I'll watch some features. But so much I got left to watch on that. Astron 6. I've talked about this one a lot, so I'm not going to talk about this one too much. But the Astron 6 crew are the guys that made Father's Day, and they make one now called The Editor. Is it The Editor, I think? And they had another one, an action one, that I'm not going to remember the name of right now. It's totally going to blank out on me. I watch these a lot, and there's one on here called Cool Guys. I really love it. I watch it over and over again. It's just so messed up. My better half watched it with me, and she fell in love with it. Okay, I gotta be careful with this one. Coming Distractions. It's Troma's trailer tape, and I'm a really big trailer tape fan. I told you guys that. Anytime I get a trailer tape, I get extremely excited. I've only got a couple, but I love them, and they're some of my favorite things to watch, and I watch them over and over again. The only thing that this one doesn't have, which was kind of a drawback, it doesn't have a play all feature, which is a bit of a bummer. But this one didn't just have trailer stuff. It had like shorts and like a bunch of stuff. So there's the top 10 trailers, a couple of music videos. There's like 71 trailers. That's a lot of stuff, guys. A lot of Troma stuff. Just really cool stuff. If you ever wanted to know what Troma stuff you might want to buy, yes, I'm covering her butt, and Tiffany Shepis is famous for having a great butt. This is the one to watch. Just get this one. This will tell you what you want. This is the only one that didn't come from the convention. I found this one at a store, and I just lucked out to the fact that it was like just in perfect, immaculate condition. It's a really hard one to find nowadays. Let me know if you got it. I'm a fan of this series. They're really bad, but I like them nonetheless, and they're what they are. Mr. Skin Pick to Click. Witchcraft 666. Just very fun. Again, some great features on here. I like the Witchcraft series. Is it a good series? Not really. The acting is pretty atrocious, and nudity's good, but yeah, not everything there. And this is one that I watched this one once with my with my son, but I wasn't feeling well at the time, so I kind of passed out. So I've not seen all this movie really. I actually got to go back in. I can't remember, and if I have, I've seen it in the sick haze. And sometimes you watch something and you don't even remember. Basically, you watched it, but you don't remember anything. But you might turn it on like 5 minutes in, and you're like, oh, now I remember this film. But that's what this one is for me right now. And it's Where Evil Lives. It's an anthology film. Something that basically Troma rescued this one. One of the greatest horror films of the 1980s. Probably not, but it's one that I hadn't seen before. Last but definitely not least is my favorite of all my Troma finds. It's a 2-disc edition, and this, honestly, every time I talk to people that like horror and stuff, or just like are kind of getting into it, and they ask me a movie that they can watch, there's nothing out there. This is really freaking good. Such a great film. Crosses over genres. it does Scream stuff before Scream stuff was being done. To this 20th anniversary edition, it's got the short film Mood Boobs on here. Mood Boobs, yeah, it's got Mood Boobs. It's got Tiffany Shepard, because Rolf Knitzky did this one, and Rolf Knitzky did like a lot of like kind of really cool stuff. Just look him up on IMDb, you'll actually recognize some of his stuff. But basically, a bunch of people live in a cabin in the woods, and one of them is a horror fan, and all this kind of stuff is happening, and he's like, you know, oh, there's something out there in the woods, you know, there's something bad going on, and nobody's believing him, you know, they think he's a bit annoying, and I guess he is a bit annoying, but he's right, and it's cool to see a horror fan being the hero in the movie, not just some guy that that nobody believes. Blue Underground Time. Sorry this took so long, guys, but I just like these films. Shock, great Maribab film. It's the last film. When I saw this on VHS, I think it was called Behind the Door 2. And got this from a collector. I'm a big Bava fan. This has Lamberto Bava interview on here as well. And of course, it's his son who did his own stuff like Macabre and stuff like that. Blade in the Dark. 2 good movies. I think I got them up here somewhere. Conquest by Lucio Fulci. I have the T-shirt. Fun little film. It's different for Fulci. You know, it's instead of, you know, Fulci did a lot of stuff. He did like kid family stuff, and he's known mostly for his gore stuff, you know, and his over-the-top stuff. But he did a lot of different type of films, and this is kind of one of these kind of different barbarian type sword and sandals movies. I love this movie. It's Shockwaves. Just a really cool film. Peter Cushing, Brooke Adams, Luke Halpin from Flippers in this one as well. John Carradine. Yeah, I forgot John Carradine was in this movie, man. I love this film. It's just so fun, and there's got some great interviews on here with Luke Halpin himself, and cool commentary. But definitely need an upgrade with this one. Great film. Love it. Mountain of the Cannibal Gods. I'm a big Sergio Martino fan. Is this my favorite Sergio Martino film? No, but you're going to see my favorite in this list, in this stuff here. But again, this guy, Ursula Andress, and I love Ursula Andress. Stacy Keach just being the man. And it's got a decent interview with Sergio Martino, which I really enjoy the fact that they put some decent extras on Blue Underground stuff. I have a couple different editions of this movie. City of the Living Dead. I have this one, Aerodrome video as well. I do want to get the Blu-ray up down the road. I really like this film. I love Fulci stuff. I'm a big fan of Fulci. My good friend Sammy got me House by the Cemetery, which is a Fulci film. And he got me, oh God, don't tell me I can't remember. New York Ripper, another Fulci. I love those films. Those are like 2 of my favorites that I ever got. And I'm just a huge fan of like Fulci and just his stuff. His work is so, I think it's brilliant. And like his camera work. This is a guy that, with the right backing behind him stuff, man, he didn't get a lot of credit like he should have early on. Just a genius director. Beautiful with his camera work, just really knew how to put stuff together. And people like didn't get it right away, and it's such a shame. I think at the end of his career before Fulci died, people were really starting to like appreciate. He was starting to see that people really were out there appreciating his work, which is, thank God you actually get to see that. And I watched a documentary where they showed him at a convention, and he was like blown away by all the people, all these fans that he had that he wasn't even aware of. He just made all these movies, and a lot of times they, you know, we're fans of these things and we get into it, but they don't realize when they're making a lot of these movies, especially people that made movies years ago and they're making movie after movie after movie. A lot of them back in the day, they did not realize that they were going to be appreciated the way that they're appreciated now. And it's great, and I'm glad that he got to see that. But yeah, it's great. See the Living Dead. Fifth Chord, Franco Nero, Giallo. Don't remember that well, so I'm not going to talk about it too much, but I love the cover art. My dad gave me this one. And just great stuff. Thanks for the interview too. Yeah, there's a couple of interviews actually. Torso. This is my favorite Sergio Martino film, and actually probably, hands down, one of my all-time favorite giallos, or favorite films actually. This, just a great film. Seems like a pretty standard giallo at the beginning of it, but the last 15-20 minutes of this film are absolutely tension-filled. You really got to check this out. If you've never seen Torso, I really, really recommend check it out. Susie Kindos is amazing in this film. The ending of this film, just not the last few seconds, the last 20 minutes of this film. Incredibly suspenseful. Next up is Suspiria. I love, as you guys all know, I love Argento. I grew up watching Argento in the theater, and they showed actually some of his older stuff in theater when I was like younger, which is really cool. So I got to actually experience most of Argento's work, like his good work, in theater. Suspiria. This is the 2-disc edition. There's a really cool 3-disc edition, which I wish I had. I don't. But this is a great edition anyway. I love it. Suspiria. It's got a music video, got a documentary on here. This is one of my favorite slashers of all time. Some of the greatest work by Savini. When I talked to Tom Savini, he was a big fan of like the work he did on this. But his favorite work that he ever did is actually on George Romero's Creepshow, doing like the fluffy character. That's one of his favorite things that he's ever done, and the reason is because it was so different. Like, he does a lot of splatter and gore and stuff like that in movies, but in George Romero's Creepshow, he got to like actually make a creature and to do some different stuff. He was very appreciative of that, and it's nice to know. I'd like to see him get to do more stuff like that. Savini's actually a really great guy. If you ever get the chance to meet him, do so. I was told that he was going to be an asshole, he was going to be a dick, he was going to be far off, this is going to be crazy, and all this type of stuff. And it's nothing like that. I mean, I spent a long part of that convention, the same as it with the Troma. I spent a long time talking to Savini, and he was such a nice guy to speak to. We talked about a bunch of different things. He talked about some projects that he had like in the works that he was hoping were going to come to fruition. We talked about like some of his earlier films. I talked to him about movies that he was working on remaking and scripts that he had done. You know, because I'm a writer myself. You know, I don't get to write much now, but I used to. So you know, we got to connect on that level. And then of course I got to see the premiere of his of a movie. I'm not sure if I got to get it on Blu-ray. A documentary about Savini's life, and it is masterfully fantastic. When it comes out, guys, pick it up. It is just incredible, and you'll get a gain a new respect for the guy. He was so nervous when we did the premiere of the film. You could tell, and he did a little talking before it, and he was like, you know, this isn't finished. It's not, you know, and he did a lot of apologizing. It's not completely done, so you know, this is not the final print. And I want to get your honest reactions. And some people were like dicks about it and said, you know, this, and this. But I thought the film was amazing, just the way it was. And I hope that cut makes it, because just incredible stuff. And he lays it out there, really gets brutally honest, which I really appreciate. I really seriously appreciate when somebody does that. It's really hard to do. I get pretty honest and open in my videos. And it's not easy all the time, because when I'm talking about certain things, I talk about when I'm younger and as moving around, like growing up with my grandparents. It you know, opens up some wounds, some old wounds, but I don't know, stuff that you got to talk about, important stuff. Prowler. Now let's talk about this one. This is a fantastic little slasher film. It's got some great gore scenes in it. Some people think this is kind of like slower paced, and I guess maybe by today's standards it might be a little bit. But Joseph Zito directed Friday the 13th Part 4, directed this. He just did an amazing job. Freddie Granger's in this one, Lawrence Tierney's in this one. This was originally called The Rosemary Killer. And but I love this movie. I just love this movie. Isn't that a great, cool look? We're almost finished. Living Dead at the Manchester Morgue. I just love this movie. Slip still is intact. 2-disc edition. Don't you love these like booklets that they put out for their DVDs and stuff? And of course, as always, a great film, and way better than I thought it was going to be. First time I heard of this film, the name just totally turned me off. It completely turned me off. But the movie, I think it's Ray Lovelock. Yeah, Ray Lovelock. It was incredible. And Honestly, guys, you ever get a chance to check this out? It's a really good film. Last but not least is my one Blue Underground box set. These are all DVD editions. I got some like Blu-rays and stuff, but I don't have them here. It's the Blind Dead collection. This is incredible. I was so happy to get this film. I'm a big fan of Armando de Sorio, and he did these movies here, the Tombs of the Blind Dead. I'm going to just take them out to show you because it's the covers are just amazing on this. There's Tombs of the Blind Dead. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that like fantastic artwork? And what's cool is this one here is the alternate opening sequence from the film as Revenge of the Planet Ape. I'm serious. Let's see if I can get this open for you guys. Yeah, I just love the way this is done. Artwork on these are amazing. Return of the Evil Dead. I guess they wanted to cash in on the name, but that's incredible. Anyway, the Ghost Galleon. Don't you love these covers? Aren't these not amazing freaking covers? I think that's some of the best covers you've ever seen. These are some of the best covers I've ever seen. What's cool about this is that, you know, contains both the original English and Spanish language tracks and sometimes different versions of the film as well. Night of the Seagulls. Amazing stuff. And if that wasn't enough, there's a documentary on Armando de Sorio here, like a whole like extra one. It's got the Last Templar documentary on writer-director Armando de Sorio, Unearthing the Blind Dead interview with the writer-director Armando de Sorio, and even like Farewell to Spain's Night of Horror DVD-ROM thing. It's really cool to get. And of course, the Nights of Terror. It's a book lit by, and it's actually pretty cool. But that's my Blu-ray, Blue Underground, Troma, Dark Skies one. I sorry for rambling on a bit. I really had fun like doing these videos. Hope you guys like it. Thanks for watching. For me right now, my throat's going. It's time for tea, and have an amazing night because it's Friday. TGIF. Time to watch some horror.